What's good, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge in 5. More best bets for the night in sports. Very special start time on Fridays during the NFL season here at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's because coming up at the top of the hour are the most important props hour of the entire week. Our props extravaganza with myself, prop stars, Cian Najad, the counselor of cash, and also Uncle Dave from Fantasy Football Today. But here on this show, we have no time to waste. Let's bring in the stars of the show. We got Zack, speculator, and how about the maestro making an appearance on the Early Edge in 5? Gentlemen, before we get into our picks, normally we don't do storylines that could affect the betting lines, but today we have a very special update. Over the course of the last few hours, the NFL has made some really cool, interesting announcements, but the most important thing is the Buffalo Bills got to have a FaceTime with the young man Hamlin from his hotel room today. And boy, from what they're telling us and what's being reported, what an emotional FaceTime that was. But let's talk about the football right here, right now. Maestro, I'm going to come to you because they made some announcements. It's going to be very, very tricky for some teams. If the Bills and Chiefs both win, then if the Bills and Chiefs meet in the AFC Championship game, it will be at a neutral site. If the Bills win this weekend and the Chiefs don't, nothing will change. If the Ravens beat the Bengals, then a coin flip would determine where that game would actually take place next week if the Bengals play the Ravens in the wild card round. If they don't, then nothing changes. So basically, it's all about the top. When you saw all of these things come out today, what were your thoughts, sir?
Well, my thoughts were with John Breach, who works for CBS and is a Bengals fan, and his dad played for the Bengals, and he pointed out that the biggest issue is that game before the AFC title game, if it's the Bengals and the Bills, is now going to be in Buffalo. They're not talking about a neutral site for that game, and here the Bengals were beating the Bills and would have hosted that game. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the thing that I think strikes people the wrong way. But again, very difficult situation. It's never happened before. So, let's move on. Let's play.
Let's play. And by the way, the Bengals last year, they were a 4 seed. They went on the road and got it done. So I would tell my players that. I wouldn't tell them, hey, we're out here fighting for you. And their executive vice president is on the competition committee. So there you go. All right. But it's a good news today. We have clarity. That's all we wanted heading into Week 18. And that's all the team should want. It's unprecedented. So make history. Go out there and win on the road and win the Super Bowl that way. Then you can say, we were that team. That's how I would look at it. All right, gentlemen. Zack, speculator, I've made you guys wait long enough. And speculator, I got to tell you, man, this is your spot. Just like the Maestro's got his spot, this is becoming your spot on Early Edge in 5. So I'm looking at my notes. And, oh, man, this young cat is really starting to play, really starting to do it all, which leads into your play today. Start us off.
Yeah, we're going to start off in the NBA, coach. We're going DeJounte Murray over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. They played the Lakers a couple games ago, and the last game against Lakers, he had 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists, 36 PRA. What I really like was in the last game, the pace was really high, approximately 106 possessions per 48 minutes. There's going to be plenty of time to have inflated stats. Add in the fact that Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves are both out tonight, which means the Lakers are going to have Patrick Beverley play on Trae Young, meaning it's either going to be LeBron guarding DeJounte Murray or it's going to be Westbrook and Schroeder, which is definitely a favorable matchup for DeJounte Murray. Lastly, he's gone over this line 4 out of the last 6 games. Everything on my gut tells me to go DeJounte Murray tonight over 35.5 points, rebounds, assists.
Everything in your gut tells you to play Murray over. By the way, the Lakers are horrible defensively. I live out here in Southern California. They are atrocious, but they do play very, very fast. They'll match the pace for the night. Great job with the first play. Thank you, speculator. Now, Zack Attack, just sitting over there. I tell you guys, we have a lot of new people coming in 2023. They look at my nice guys on the screen. Those are nice. They're savages. Savages. Zack, you're up.
All right, one of the NBA spreads that has not moved from last night into today, but I'm going to take the Spurs at home -1 against the Detroit Pistons. Both of these teams are well below 500, but over their last 3 to 4 games, they've been very competitive, both sides. So I think it's still going to be a good game tonight. But I look at the Spurs, they're a team, they're going to have defensive lapses, but what they're able to do as of late is counter that with strong offensive surges. We saw that in their last game against the Knicks. And then a little bit underrated here is they've actually won 3 straight home games, even though they've been on the road. If you look at their schedule, they've won 3 straight home games. I think it's a good spot for them against Detroit Pistons team that's on their 5th straight road game, long road trip they've had. They played 7 of the last 9 games on the road. And of course, there's always value being one of the few teams that has beat the Golden State Warriors at Golden State. They just won as 6.5-point underdogs, handed the Warriors their 3rd home loss of the year. So I just like the Spurs tonight. I think they pull away late in the 4th quarter.
I think this is a great spot. I think it's a great spot talking about tired legs over the course of a lot of home games or away games in a row, or a lot of away games over the course of 10 or 12 days. Love this spot for the Spurs. In fact, you kind of took my take, which I'm happy about, because I don't need to talk about what the Thunder are doing at home tonight, laying a very small number. So I'm going to go also Thunder -1, Zach, because they're at home. The Wizards have been playing road games, and even though they had a long winning streak, those road games are now starting to add up. I love the Thunder, who just scored, wait for it, 150 on the Celtics at home. I'll take the Thunder laying the small number tonight. Then my other play, I told you the Sixers are a straight-up over team. I've hit them 3 or 4 times in a row because they're playing faster. James Harden has figured it out. I can score 30 easier if I'm wide open on fast breaks. They've changed how they played. The sports books have not changed by a point or two. We'll take the Bulls, Sixers over 231 -110. All right, Maestro. I'm staring at what you got tonight. I almost played this team. I didn't have the guts, but I know you do. You're up, big boy.
All right, let's keep it going in the NBA with the Brooklyn Nets coming off their first loss after 12 straight wins. They have not lost a road game in about 6 weeks. They're the #1 defensive team in the league since Steve Nash departed. And they're playing a Pelicans team that's played very well, but will not have Zion, will not have Brandon Ingram. And the Nets shot 12 of 37 from deep in the loss to Chicago. That's not the Nets. Royce O'Neal was 0 for 8. Kyrie was 1 for 8. Those guys are going to bounce back. I'll take the Nets. I'll lay the 4.5 in New Orleans. And then NFL prop tomorrow, Evan Ingram. His props are on the rise with good reason. He destroyed the Jags last time, 11 catches, 162 yards. But that was a 4-game stretch where he had 31 catches on 40 targets. He's playing for a contract. He's finally living up to the potential. Last week he had a dud, but that's against the Texans. They didn't have to do anything. They really didn't have to throw. This is going to be another big Evan Ingram game. I'm going over 4.5 catches, -123 at Caesars.
I love that a lot. So we're not wasting any more time. Grab your paper, grab your pencil, because I got to get ready for a big show coming up in just 20 minutes, top of the hour. Turn on those notifications. You want that prop show live and in your feed. Maestro, Nets -4.5. Evan Ingram over 4.5 catches, -123. Then Zack Attack, Spurs -1. Speculator, Dejounte Murray over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And if you're going to cash with the coach, we hope to do with these 2 games. Thunder -1, Bulls Sixers over 231. It's a busy Friday night. And remember, Fridays usually mean energy in the NBA because you got kids. It's into the holidays. It picks the players up. It matters. It matters. All right. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Speculator, Maestro, Zack Attack, AB on the 1s and the 2s. I am the coach. We're here every single day, multiple times a day, and we love doing it just for you on the early edge. And sometimes, oh yes, sometimes we do it in 5. Good luck.